we're going to put on this 4/0 owner rigging hook. It's sort of a heavier hook than a conventional 4/0 light wire worm hook or something, but it's my favorite hook for the floating worms. So then we're going to take and we're going to tie this on here. No weight whatsoever. So we're going to tie a copolymer knot, which is what I use 99.9% of the time, I guess. Unless I get in a real big hurry, then I'll tie a trilene knot, but it's very rare that I do that. So now I'm going to cut my tag end off here that I just tied on there. What do I do with my clippers? Oh, there they are. So I'm going to get my clippers out here. Okay. So we're going to take and, I don't remember if I've ever showed you this before or not, but we'll do it again. So now we've got our hook tied on there. What you want to do is, with a trick worm or floating worm of any type, you want to get a color that you can see. So I prefer white. I can see white a long distance off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to feed this up on this hook with the flat side of the worm facing the hook there. I'm going to feed it up onto that curve there. Then I'm going to pull it back out like that. What that does is when this nose comes up over the arch of this hook, it's going to actually feed that worm, and you're going to rotate it around, and it just fed that worm right up the line of that lure. So you've actually got about this much of that worm from there to there is actually above the hook and on the line. Then I'm going to pull this up like this, and then I'm going to pull that worm back down straight on that hook, so it's hanging straight, right, like that. And when we get down there, we will jerk the end of the rod like we are a jerk bait, and see how that little nose comes back and forth. It's going to actually make this dart like that through the water. And hopefully we can catch a couple fish on that today. And we also, the water's stained. It's been raining a lot. The water's up high, so we're going to be in a pond today. We're not going to be on a creek. And we're going to walk down this bank, and I'll also have a little shallow running chartreuse blackback crankbait that we're going to try. And we're just going to hook that baby right there into our hat. And we're going to throw our clippers in our pockets, take an extra hook, a handful of worms. We're going to go down here and we're going to work along this bank and grass and boat docks, because we seen some bass spawning down there the other day, and we'll see if we can't catch a couple before the rain comes in this morning. Just landed our first little bass, a white trick worm. Got him right off the edge of the grass right there. And you see the grass is still just all over the trick worm and the bass. So at least we got us one off of here. So we're going to get back down here, try it again. Remember, just twitch the trick worm, let it sink down, twitch it again, it'll dart back and forth along that grass. Hopefully you land a couple more bass. Well, we have this little feller on a crankbait. We switched over from the trick worm to the crankbait, and we just caught that little bass there. Missed one other one on the trick worm. I seen it going after it, and it jerked too soon like a dummy. So that one came off the little crankbait. So we're going to work on down the bank here and see what else we can get. Well, there's bass number 2. Got him on the crankbait. Seems like the bass moved out away from the bank a little bit, so we're going to keep on with the crankbait. Although the trick worm did do okay, bass seem to be way out off the end of these grass points. So we're going to keep at it and see if we can't get us another one of these babies. This one. Fished this little white trick worm here today. See that? You gonna hold that up for the camera? This is my best buddy in the world right here. This is Kevin, man. And that's my baby girls. We also fished this little crankbait here. We caught a few bass. So, shallow run crankbait. Watch them trail hooks, baby. 6.5 foot bait caster, 10-pound test line, white trickworm around the grass, shallow run crankbait off the ends of the grass, and we caught a few fish, so I hope you enjoyed that. And just crank, pause, crank, pause on the crankbait, and we was twitching the worm, floating worm, sort of like you would a jerk bait. Just let it sink down, give it a little twitch, pause, and that's how we got our fish today. So.